Subclass and welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall. So, in this video, what I would like to do is go over what I feel is the best Gunslinger subclass in the Rise of Iron to date. And today is January 22nd, 2017. However, this video probably will come out to you guys on the 23rd. But before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy it, hitting that like button and giving your opinion in the comment section below will be greatly appreciated. Now, when it actually comes to this subclass, I will be going over the subclass itself, the weapons, the armor, perks, and pretty much anything else I feel is useful when it comes to maximizing the effectiveness of the Gunslinger subclass. So, let's actually start off with the subclass itself. Now, I will explain everything and why I use it, and I will be going over everything I use in PvE as well as PvP. So, as for your wonderful subclass, for starters, we'll start with your grenades. I like using tripmine grenades. And reason being is because I actually use the young Ahamkara's Spine as my primary exotic, which gives me an additional tripmine grenade and increased tripmine grenade duration. So, I love tripmine grenade. It's been doing wonders for me, and later on in the video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, tripmine grenade has been nerfed like in the past, but it's still amazing, and I suggest you guys still use it. The fact that it has a little bit longer duration, when you're using young Ahamkara's Spine is amazing. It's like having lightning grenades, but for your gunslinger, and it's actually like tripmine instead. Huh, who would have known? Anyways, for your jump, I actually like using triple jump, which upgrades double jump with a third jump. It's like using the bones of AO. And the fact of getting around the map a lot faster with that extra jump helps out tremendously. Now, if you guys don't use triple jump, then I would suggest you guys use better control, because better control is actually still a good jump. However, higher jump isn't really a good jump, and a lot of people can actually agree with me. Now, before I move on, this current build is actually for PvP. I only changed two things when it comes to PvE, and I'll get into that in just a second. As for my my golden gun, I like using Deadeye, which significantly increases the accuracy and damage of golden gun. I feel this is best in PvP, but I'll get into the whole PvE thing after. As for my melee throwing knife, I like using Incendiary Blade, which throwing knife catches enemies on fire, dealing additional damage over time. It's great. I like it. Pretty much end of story. As for your passive stats, I like using Path Unknown as well as Way of the Fearlessness. Not Fearlessness, just Fearless. As for the next column, I like using Keyhole, which Golden Gun overpenetrates and can damage multiple targets. And as for your very last section, I like using Gambler's Dagger, which you gain an additional throwing knife. Now, as I said, this is only the PvP build, so player versus player. Now, I do have a PvE build, and there's only two things that change. One being that, where is it? So, as for your super, I like using Combustion, which killing enemies with Golden Gun causes them to explode. 9 times out of 10, when you have a whole bunch of ads, that's exactly what it is, a whole bunch of ads. And they're most likely coming after you. So when you pop that super and you start killing them, Combustion obviously will make one explode and so on and so forth. Perfect example, Thralls. They always come at you in groups. This gets rid of multiple. And for the second thing in PvE that I change is I don't use Keyhole, I actually use Scavenger, which picking up ammo reduces the cooldown of your grenade and throwing knife. Now, in PvP, it's okay, but in PvP is where Scavenger shines the most, because you're constantly picking up ammo, and you're constantly picking up, ammo. Yeah. You're constantly picking up ammo, and obviously you're getting your grenade as well as your throwing knife back as much as possible. And even in PvE, I still will use Gambler's Dagger, because I feel that it is better than Over the Horizon, as well as Chain of Woe. That's just me. As for the gear, I like using a helmet that has better already. If I can find one that has Ashes to Assets as well, I would use that instead. For your Exotic, like I said, I do use the Young Ahamkara Spine. And once again, the main perk on this is Field Trip, which increases trip mine grenade duration and gain an additional trip mine grenade charge. This is amazing. But you want to make sure you have one that actually has Fastball, which increases grenade throw distance. I have killed so many people with this. And trip mine grenades are just as good as lightning grenades, in my opinion. You know, you don't have to agree with me, but that's just my opinion. And it just works magic. It really does. As for your chest piece, you want a chest piece that has arc armor on it, which increase. I'm sorry, not arc armor. You want solar armor on your chest piece, which increased armor when using a solar-based subclass. I apologize, that just went over my head real quick. As for your boots, you want boots that have solar double down, because solar double down is amazing. As for your hunter cloak, you can have whatever you want. As for my artifact though, and this is very interesting that I've seen, I like using the Memory of Payroon. And what the Memory of Payroon does is it gives you Payroon's Prowl, which enemy guardians with full supers and all enemies with low health are highlighted. This is crucial when you want to shut down an enemy's super and still have time to kill other enemies. So as soon as your enemies pop their super, let's say if they are a Nightstalker and they're in the animation, or a Warlock in their animation, anytime that actual person is in the animation, you can kill them still with your golden gun. Or if they have something like hammers, which it has a longer duration, you can kill them if you're close enough. And so this just makes it awesome. It really does. I love the Memory of Payroon on this subclass the best. As for your ghost, I have a tier 12 ghost. You know, nothing too big. But before we get into the weapons, I actually like running a tier 12 build of 5, 5, and 2. That is tier 5 intellect, tier 5 discipline, and tier 2 strength. I have the tier 5 intellect and discipline on my character. I'm still trying to work on the tier 2 strength. I'm only at tier 1, but it still works out pretty well. As for the primary weapon, I like using the last word, Clever Dragon, and pretty much everything else I actually like when it comes to PvP. Obviously it has to be the meta. If it's not the meta, then you're wasting your time. For PvE though, I have a distant star, which actually has explosive rounds on it, and that helps dramatically when it comes to killing ads. Just that extra damage, you know. And it makes them like stutter as well. As for my special weapons, I like using sniper rifles, specifically my 1000-yard stare. This 1000-yard stare actually has long view, Eye of the Storm, small bore, as well as hidden hand. It is not the best sniper out there, but you can see the magic I do if you haven't already seen it yet. If not the 1000-yard stare, I actually like using my Matador 64. My Matador has aggressive ballistics, performance bonus, reinforced barrel, as well as rangefinder. Once again, in a perfect world, we would all have a perfect Matador, and RNG doesn't like me for some ungodly reason. And then for your heavy weapon, I like using the Chaotic Neutral, which is a heavy machine gun. Mine has linear compensator, army of one, perfect balance, as well as counterbalance. This thing is stable AF. Stable as fuck. And I love it. It's just amazing. So, that is the build. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Real quick, if you guys haven't seen, I do have the Can't Stop the Signal emblem for actually streaming. Now, there has been a lot of controversy on how to actually get this, but I will be doing a video on that, specifically in depth, of how to actually get this, because a lot of people don't actually know or have tons of questions, and I will do my best to answer all of those questions at once in that next video.
Gains the lead.
So,
2 for 1.
If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. I'm Reckless, and remember, own your success, and I will see you guys next time.